Hello, hello again. Okay, much better. Much better. I think. Hello, can you guys hear me out there? Hello, Rem Diamond. Hey, thank you very much. Glad to be back. And thank you so much for the follow. Sorry about that, everybody. I think I'm back. At least I'm not getting the red error anymore. But I can still see a few things are not quite working the way they ought to be. I see that looks like the game, my overlay is kind of a little wonky, but it's fine. We'll make it work. Let's see if I flip away from it and come back to it, if that helps. Maybe it will just be a little bit weird today. That's okay. My chat is just gonna look a little strange today. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. As long as you guys can hear me. Can you hear the background music? Can you hear my voice? If so, that's good enough. Ooh boy. Everything's being real clunky feeling today. So strange. Okay, I don't really understand, you know? I don't know, technology, right? Like, you know that feeling, right? Where sometimes you don't even you don't touch anything and just everything stops working or inexplicably doesn't work the way it normally does, even though seemingly no variables have changed. Very odd. Whatever, though. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's get into it. I'm just gonna get started right here. Oh, look, there we go. Hey, the chat looks like it's the overlay looks like it's fixed itself. The correct font is now being displayed. Brilliant. Okay, let's get to it. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Glad to have you all here. This is how you know it's live, right? Where were we at this build? I feel like, okay. Okay, so we wanted to add some tables and stuff at the corners here. Some books and that kind of thing. To make sure that these corners didn't feel too bland. So I think that's the first order of business today, is we're gonna like dress up these corners a little bit, and we talked about adding some more lighting, because right now the lighting is a little, other than the ones shining down on the tables here, it's a little flat looking. So we'll add stuff in the corners of the little cafe seating areas, so bar stools, and then try to do some lighting around the place, and maybe even frame out the bar a little bit. I think that's sort of like our to-do list for today. Wait, one moment. I'm just getting a message from someone asking where my stream is. Are you guys not seeing this right now? Huh. That's weird. Is Amph, you out there? Did you make it in here? Crummy Kid, hey, welcome back. Oh, there we go. Okay, wow. Okay, there we go. There's everybody. Yeah, maybe it's getting pushed out a little bit different to everybody. I'm not sure. Yeah, sorry everybody. Yeah, like I said, hey, at least you know I'm doing this live, right? It's not pre-recorded. This filmed in front of a live studio audience, right? So, here we go, right? Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Man, was everything just like stuck behind a weird... Maybe it's just super duper delayed or something. That is very possible. Last time we were, I know in the past, right, we were streaming and I think there was like a good minute or two delay or something. So that could possibly be it, is I am seeing you guys talking to me significantly later. Here, like Amphi, I'm gonna send you hello on Discord right as I'm saying this. And I'm curious like how much longer it will take before you hear me saying this. It's 4:20 p.m. right now for me, and I'm sending hello. And I'm curious how long, how long it'll take before you actually hear me say this onto stream. Just to kind of give us an idea of what the delay is like. Ooh, yeah. Oh, really? Only like 5 seconds? Okay, so when I said... Oh, perfect. All right. Well, maybe the stream just had to, like, I don't know, figure out its life. It needed a moment, right? You know, sometimes you just need a moment, guys, right? How's everybody doing today? Aramor, good to see you again. Crummy Kid, glad to have you in. Morgant, Vreeze, Amphi, Rem Diamond, if you're still here too, glad to have you with us. Oh man, and even my other computer, or my gameplay computer here is running a little smoother. Still a little choppy, it's always going to be a little choppy, but it's much better than before. What do we need? We need the bookshelves. We need half bookshelves, right? Low bookshelf, there we go. We need 2 of those, and I think we can add a potted plant and some other stuff. Let's do that. How many bar stools do we have? My new goal for these housing streams is I'm gonna try to build faster and not get so stuck on little details. Cause I think, I mean, you know, I want to make an entertaining stream for you guys whenever possible. So I think that sometimes it can get a little bogged down if I get too fussy about the details, you know? Which is actually, I mean, it's a good question for you guys. Would you like to see, would you prefer to continue with like these long, you know, 2-hour streams and stuff, and like, because it's kind of 2 hours, to really just try to have a more rigid like schedule, like we're gonna kind of hammer through a bunch of stuff, and not, you know, fuss again too much about little details or anything like that. Uh-oh. I can see that my frames are dropping. And that the stream's cutting out. Is it cutting out for you guys? I think it is. I can see it on the status thing here. Man, what is going on? Being a little choppy. Okay, a little bit choppy is still is better than, okay, as long as it's not totally cutting out. I saw the kilobytes per second going out drop to 0 for a moment there. So I remember last time that like killed the stream for a moment. So okay, I hope it's okay. Man, what is going on today? Everything's breaking. What is... Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, solar flare. Must have been the wind, right? Dang wind. Ah, geez, they're on to us. Bar stool, there we go. Do I really not have any? Oh, I may have pulled them back out and put them in the main room. I think that's why I don't have any left. Okay, that's fine. We can just go buy some. Bar stools, 2 low bookshelves. Good to go. Let's go get those. Question for you all too. Because of, I should say, the bar that we're currently working on isn't that particularly Asian, but a lot of the rest of the build of this house right now is sort of in a more Asian vibe. So there's like the backyard stage, there's the movie theater, as well as this bar that I've actually not really showcased yet. But here you go. Here's a little glimpse of it if you guys haven't seen it. I'm wanting to post this sometime this week, maybe like, you know, tomorrow or something. But so to say that the whole idea behind this build was to have this completely cohesive looking entity where you walk into this place and it feels like you never really leave going into a lot of the different rooms. And in particular, walking out to the backyard stage here was meant to look like you walked back outside the same build that you walked into. So, what I'm getting to here is that in order to make sure that as people start to, as I open up this house to everybody, because right now it's been locked, as I open it up to everybody, I kind of wanted to really be able to give people that cohesive feel. And, you know, this imitates the Hingen Mokuzo exterior walls, which I used to have on this FC house. But I changed them during New Year's because I wanted to throw a little New Year's party in the garden, and I went with the new Charlian walls, which are beautiful, the Charlian Cafe walls, but they don't match the build. So I've been wanting to change these back. My question to you guys is, do you want to see me do that? Do you want to see me switch the walls and then rebuild out the yard to match that theme? Or would you rather me just stick with us building more inside? You know, because right now it looks like this, right? This is like the yard. If people, you know, prefer to kind of just see what happens inside the build, because I understand that like more interesting things can happen inside than necessarily outside, then that's fine. I will build or switch stuff out in the yards like off stream. But if people are super interested in that, then that could be something that we do on stream. But I kind of wanted to gauge interest on that. This is like a choose your own adventure stream, you know? You guys can help tell me what's going on. Okay, how many did we say? I guess we would need like 8. We'll fund the market a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna buy 4 right now, just so we can have 4 to play with. And then low bookshelf. Hey, oh, perfect. Rem and Morgan. Yeah, no, that's totally the vibe here. When I was initially kind of like talking to people about this, the way I would pitch it is basically saying it's like those study with me streams, but build with me. That's the vibe, right? Is like, I'm just kind of doing my thing and then just talking aloud of like what I'm thinking about and stuff. But I know like I've definitely loved like building to, you know, HDXIV in the background, and then also things like Minecraft streams even, right, are usually a really good time to build with. Must be crazy and like buy this one instead. So yeah, so 100% I encourage, if you guys want to build with me or do other creative work, drawing, whatever, stuff like that, please go for it. But yeah, okay, so I'm seeing sort of a general consensus of it doesn't really matter that much, or like maybe inside is more interesting in a way, so let's keep it to that. Okay, so we can do that. You know what? Yeah, so I'll do that for now. I will build the outside off stream, and then if anything, like I can always show what I did in the yard, and if people have maybe specific questions about something, right, they can fire it out and say like, oh wow, wait, what you did specifically, what you did with that, I don't know, the deck area over there, you know, like that's a nice deck. Can you talk about it? And then I'll yeah, and then I can break down that particular area or something like that. Quick walkthrough of it once it's done. But yeah, maybe more interesting to keep it inside for now. Okay, so let's get these lined up. I think we figured out that like if they're right above the troop stage here, it actually fits pretty perfectly, right? Isn't that what we saw when we were standing on the troop stage and we plopped it down? Okay, doesn't actually quite work out. Let's see. Like if it's like that. It's pretty close though. Let's give it a go. Out of curiosity, so what are you guys all building? What, if you don't mind sharing, I mean, I know if it's a secret project, I understand, but out of curiosity, what is the latest that you all are working on right now? Let's see, how close does this allow me to get to the wall? It's actually pretty close. That cuts into the shelves there. Okay, so if I just plop this down, what does that look like? Okay, that's reasonable, right? There'd probably be a little space right there. All right, let's just see how this ends up looking. I'm kind of wondering, actually, because there's actually the little space right here, maybe this could be a cool opportunity to slot one of the alchemic lanterns or something back here and have a splash of light that fires upward along the wall. Although I guess that would be counter to these firing downward. So we'll have to experiment with that. Could be a position where we want to put another one of the pendant lights here. Let's see, what are you guys working on? Attempting a Sui no Sato build. And, okay, so what is that? Amphi, what does that mean or translate to? Very curious. Is that a specific style of Japanese build, or is that based off something in the game? And Rem, okay, so you're working on working on a modern black and white home. Finishing the kitchen, okay. You know, that is something that I want to learn more how to do, kitchens. I've seen so many really pretty takes on a modern kitchen. Actually, not just modern, but I mean, just so many different kitchens. And I realized that I don't think I've ever really built a kitchen. I kind of built a little, like, shop nook thing in the main room of the FC here. We walked right past it when I went outside, but it's not really like a full-on kitchen with the cabinets and the counter and everything. And I would really love to do a kitchen. So I'm really eager to see what you're building there. Actually, I'm interested to see what everyone's building, to be honest. I would love to see, hopefully, if you guys would like to post it eventually. If you're in my Discord already, or if you're not in my Discord, link below and come join the Discord. We have an area for housing in there. And in that area, there's a housing showcase. If you guys have finished your builds and want to showcase them to everybody in here, that'd be lovely. I'd love to see that. Or if like you guys want to even just show what you're building right now, there's a work in progress channel, and I don't actually think anybody's posted anything in the work in progress channel yet, so it could be you. You could be the first, and you will get the honor of being the first. And Crummy K, let's see, you know. And yes, yeah, I've been watching you building Crummy Kid, or seeing it come to life, and it's been great. You've come so far in just a short time. You went from asking how a basic float works, you know, at the start of last stream, and we showed that, and then like right after the stream, I watched you float up. Well, you had already floated up a bed, a rug, and then you floated up the event tiger partition item, and you did great. I mean, you didn't mess it up or anything. I mean, that was awesome. So, and then I think you pretty much have your build all complete. I need to go visit that after the stream. And Amphi, it's the Ryan Kingdom in the Ruby Sea. Oh, okay. Wait. Man, I'm sorry, my Final Fantasy lore game is admittedly not the best. What area is that? I mean, I know the Ruby City, but I'm trying to picture what peoples this is. The white-scaled aura. Okay. And where in the Ruby Sea are they? I know, right? Oh god, I need to be educated. I'm a great big phony. I was pretty sure, like, yeah, like I thought Ryan was very familiar with the term, but yeah, I will admit I am not the best when it comes to all the different races and the sub, like their all of the names of everything. But yeah, it says underwater. Is that what why am I blanking on this? Oh my gosh, my brain today is just blah blah blah. A baloney. Are they the one in the middle? Sort of in the middle, like with the tower and not Yotsuyu, that's not the right one. Yeah, like where this history of the Violet Tides, that whole quest thing comes from, and there's that little village of people in the middle. And there's the ninja from with Kusetsu, Yugiri. Yeah, is that her people? Is that right? Am I crazy? Am I way off? There we go. I'm sorry. You know, I have like, so this is actually true in real life too. Like, where like I'm a very visual person, right? So like I can like perfectly, like the whole time I was just saying all of that, I could perfectly like see Yugiri's, you know, image in my brain, and I just can't for the life of me remember like the name. And this happens all the time in real life. Like I'll see people out and about, even if I haven't seen them in years, and instantly I'll recognize their face, or I'll instantly like recognize, you know, like, or I don't know, you meet a room full of people, and like I will know if I see them again, even if I only met them for like 5 minutes. A lot of times I will instantly recognize that I know who this person is. Like, I've met you, I recognize your face. I'm sorry, I just don't remember your name or something, right? Like, or like that one detail you told me, like what you did for work or something. I don't know. I just but like, yeah, but I could probably like pick you out of a crowd, you know, like instantly. I don't know, it's, anyone else have that issue? And yes, I remember we met her parents. Yes, I do recall that, Crummy Kid. Are you guys really into the Final Fantasy lore? Like, do you guys, you know, do you guys do a lot of the side quests and I guess maybe replay some areas and just kind of like take a lot of that stuff really, really in? Or are you the kind of person who plays through it once and like just, I mean, they mentioned the word Ray once, so done, boom, it's in your memory like forever. I can already say it's gonna bug the crap out of me that the books on the left-hand side here are getting cut off. I feel like I'm gonna want to do something about that. But that Okay, but I'm not gonna like super fuss about that right now. There's possibly just something that we can do to kind of address what's happening there. You meet her parents. I like lore stuff. Oh, you like, yeah. Okay, so you like the lore. So, Amphi, like, do you go out of your way, like, outside of what just the main scenario tells you to dig deeper? Do you have, I would imagine that there's lore books that Square Enix has put out, about 14, that you can buy as well. Side stories, or even just like a, you know, Encyclopedia Eorzea or something, like a physical version that you could like really dig deep into a lot of that stuff. Is that the kind of like level that you explore? I don't know. I think that stuff is fascinating, you know? I mean, I only recently just got into Final in the grand scheme of things, and I've just had so many things that I'm trying to do, like with all the builds and running, helping, you know, run events or build Ichi and host stuff, and just even getting through the main scenario and stuff. I haven't really had much of a chance to dig too much deeper into learning all the lore and everything, but Broke Gang. Yo, Broke Gang! Broke Gang, rise up. Hit me as well. Broke but happy? Yeah? Yeah? Maybe that should be one of the emotes. $0, but you're happy. I remember them. Oh my god, yeah, I wish my brain had that kind of energy for when it came to exams and stuff too. Thank goodness that, okay, I can't say that like adulting post-college doesn't ever involve exams, because it absolutely can, or it does at times, but for the most part, like, oh man, thank goodness, at least for the most part, you don't have to do that anymore. I bet a lot of people could resonate with this, right? But like, I mean, I feel like, you know, school and like stuff, it just, when you're a creative person, I mean, I feel like I often end up kind of saying like, oh, I feel like I'm like a bad student or something, but I honestly don't, like, I love learning is the thing, you know? Like I mean, I love learning all this, how to do creative work and learning new techniques and everything. Like, I mean, I can spend endless hours on YouTube and stuff learning. Learning is not the issue. So I remember I used to be like, oh yeah, I feel like I was a bad student and stuff. Like I didn't study very much, and like I wasn't the best student. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this isn't that, I'm not gonna make this too political or anything, but just like, I think it's wonderful that the internet has become what it is. There's a lot of weird stuff about the internet too, of course, but like, I think that like the recent explosion of just like tutorials about like everything on the internet is just so wonderful for a lot of reasons, you know, because you can be Broke Gang and learn though everything you need to do, like, I mean, not just creative work, but like just about anything, right? Like there's probably like a free tutorial about just about anything you could possibly want to learn on the internet. But especially like too, like when it comes to creative work, right? Like not everyone can afford art school. Not everyone can afford, you know, all the fanciest softwares and all the everything. But like, I feel like as of late, there's usually like a pretty good like free software alternative for like, you know, for Photoshops and 3D modeling, like Blender, what's, you know, I forget what's the free Clip Studio. I mean, even people make it work, you know. There was a different thing that everyone, all these tutorials online have been using instead of Photoshop too. But I think like it's really quite wonderful, and I feel like I hope it's awoken a lot of people to this idea that like learning is actually awesome. You know, with the right teachers and everything, like it can be so much fun and it's so rewarding. Like, you know, lifelong student kind of vibe, but not having to not in the I want to take exams for the rest of my life kind of vibe, but that I just really enjoy learning. Although, of course, there are some times where you're doing a tutorial and it doesn't really work out and you're banging your head against the wall, and that's frustrating. But yeah, I know what you mean, Amphi. Money doesn't, as they say, like money doesn't buy happiness. But it does help pay the bills, and it does help. So I mean, it does take some stress off, that's for sure. Like, I think it's like always, you know, there's always it's a balancing or it's a caveat or something kind of thing, but I think up to a certain point, money does definitely help in terms of, you know, if you at least have enough where you don't have to worry about paying the bills and you can focus on doing whatever you want to be doing instead of having to just worry about making ends meet, then of course to that level, yes, money does buy some level of comfort and happiness. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh my god, the Wild West internet. You got stories, Amphi? Back in the Wild West internet. Honestly, I still feel like we're in the Wild West internet, but in different ways. Like, it keeps shifting. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels like, you know, it'd be like, I mean, I guess that's the thing about the Wild West, right? There's so many different, like what is it? I don't know. Periods or something that went through. Like, first is like, just like getting around in the new world in a way, and then it's like you know, Oregon Trail things, and then it's like, oh, gold rush. I don't know, to be honest, I'm not the best at history and everything, but like I feel like it's a different kind of Wild West now. It used to be the Wild West of like just like even being able to find what you want, and now it's like a Wild West of there's so much of everything that it's overwhelming, and it's a different problem of finding what you want because there's just like so much stuff to sift through, right? Also, I am, just to explain what I'm doing, I floated the bookshelves here for the corner stuff, and now I'm just checking out if there's like a dye or something that might like help them match a little bit, because the base dye very much makes them pop out in a I think a not so great way. So I'm just trying to see if I can figure out a way to make these feel a little more like they belong together. Okay, so you want this kind of like brownish red, and I know for a fact that the this part of the wood on the bar cannot change color, so we kind of need to base this color. I think it was like chocolate brown or russet that gets closest. That looks pretty close. Russet. I'll just try russet for now. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Russet dye. And money doesn't buy. Yeah. Yep. Paramore. Yeah. It does let you focus on what you want. If you up to a certain point. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah. The dream, right? The dream of all of us people who do creative stuff is to have enough, ideally like passive or something income, right? To then just be able to create and not have to worry about like just the bills and that kind of thing. Whoever said money can't solve problems. Oh man. Yeah, that thing with Ariana is kind of, yeah, I see that. I mean, I see the point in that. Like, again, it's no black and there's almost never a black and white answer to anything, right? Like, I think like that's a big thing as a community of this channel. I want us all to kind of embrace is the idea that like the vast majority of the time there's not going to be black and white answers to stuff, including like, yeah, I mean, almost everything has a degree of like, it depends to it, you know, or up to a degree that is true. And I think that I definitely want us as like a group to kind of embrace that idea from a point of empathy, right? Where like, we might talk about our opinions about stuff in here or in the Discord and stuff like that, but like, don't like jump on someone's ass just because, you know, they stated something a little bit weird, or like they kind of had like, I don't know, an opinion about something that is like, well, that's not really true. You know, what about this specific use case? And I like, all right, you know, well, let's, yeah. We're all just here to hang out, right? And like create and inspire each other. So, okay, I'm losing my focus again here. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, okay, bar stools. Let's do bar stools. Let's do some bars. We'll do the bar stools, and then we'll do. Let's see. We can do bar stools. Then do some lights. I think like figuring out the lighting in here will be really nice. Morgant. I'll only tell you to put it away if it becomes an issue. But we won't need to do that, right? We're not going to resort to that. Violence is not the answer. Oh wait, is that really close? That's super close to this. Okay, never mind, we gotta move this over. Ooh, that's gonna... Okay, not gonna be a problem though. I think part of the thing here is probably gonna dye these where they match, so it looks like one gigantic continuous piece. And I remember, I know that this works because I've done it before in the other bar build. I did. Where is it? Chocolate? There it is. Chocolate. Chocolate brown, and it pretty much makes it look seamless. It's close enough anyway. So 2 chocolates. I mean, I might as well make this chocolate one too, right? Just try it. Ugh. Okay, that's, yeah, we can just do it like that. They're about evenly spaced. And That'll leave a little bit of extra walking room over there. Okay. All you folks who are building, how's your building coming along? You guys making some progress? Anybody stuck? So I saw that. Do we have some posts in? Oh, there we did. Yeah, Selena Crummy Kid posted Selena/Crummy Kid. Selena, would you like me to call you Crummy Kid or Selena? Does it matter? Do you prefer one or the other? Oh wow, that turned out so nice. I'm looking at the Discord right now, the showcase channel. Wow, that looks so nice. Wow, you really did quite a bit more than when I was in there. Like what you did with the whole bar area there. That kind of like hides the upstairs, the tiger screen and everything. That works really nicely. I was kind of thinking you were going to leave the whole, like that whole top open, but yeah, what you did there actually really makes that top area feel really nice and cozy. You did say that, yeah, no, and you did a really good job. That's awesome. That's the way to do it, honestly. I mean, I think that's, you know, housing is at its, I don't want to say it's like easiest, maybe? I don't know. When you can get in the zone, right? And like really focus in. Would you guys, like, would you guys be interested in me doing like a longer form housing stream? You know, sometimes I know we kind of like just start getting into something here on the 2-hour version, and then it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of up. But I know like I've watched some Minecraft streams or something that, you know, that they'll just go for like 5 hours or something. Which would be like, I mean, that would be like a much more very much build with me, just kind of like almost your background ambience for the night kind of vibe. But would you guys be interested in that stuff? Like some occasional much longer form, like, I don't know. You know what I'm talking? You know what I mean? Or do you think it's nice to just have this in 2-hour chunks and just leave it at that? That did not work. Ooh. Wait, what? Why is this not? Am I doing something weird? Why will you not pop up? Very weird. It's better in person. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come check it out in person too. Okay, what is going on? Why is this not working? Okay, you guys need to pop this up first with the Riviera wall shelf. Is it because my computer's lagging? Why will this thing not pop up off the ground? Huh? Okay, you know what? Let's go outside for a second. Sometimes you just gotta reset the room. Okay, yeah, Amphi, you'd enjoy a longer form. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? Like I said, I'm very much, you know, wanting to just kind of understand what kind of content you all would like to see as much as I'm thinking of ideas of kind of things that I would like to try. So, your feedback is greatly appreciated. There we go. I don't know why that thing was giving me so much trouble before. That was weird. Yeah, look at that go. Very strange. Oh, I guess worth pointing out to anybody who, you know, hasn't maybe experimented with floating like a ton of different types of items. There's something that, I believe it was Sint who, well, I heard this from, I think, Sint pointing this out, of Sint of FFXIV, but it could have been found by someone else. I apologize if I need to credit a different person for discovering this. But when you're floating items, the thing that seems to dictate how like much the item can jump upward is how wide the item is. I don't know exactly all the details of how that's calculated, but so for example, a stage panel, even though it looks really, really wide, like it looks like it's a really humongous object, the game, oops, hold on, zoomed in here. The game only cares about like the fact that it's this thin. And so when you're like trying to nudge a stage panel up, you can only bump it up little by little by little by little as it's rising upward. And so you'll have to do these really micro little nudges, probably with like a Rivera wall shelf when you're doing it. You can also do it with like a wooden loft, you know, but it's just easier to be a little more precise with this. So I ran into this with Selena Crummy Kid yesterday when, or Monday? Yeah, when we were trying to float the tiger partition, right? So the tiger partition looks gigantic, and you'd think it would be able to float like a bed or something. But because the tiger partition, even though it's really like maybe wide, it's very thin still, so you need to barely nudge it upward, little by little by little by little. And so something like a stool will not pop up anywhere as fast as, like, for example, a bed. Some of the beds and the rugs, because they're both, like, you know, they're wide in both directions, their hitbox is, for whatever reason, programmed really crazily high. So for beds and rugs, you can actually place the floating mechanism way above the bed itself. You don't even have to hit the bottom of the bed, and the whole bed will just snap upward. And just like wanting to explain that, I feel like I should probably figure out a more succinct way of explaining that for future, or like a tutorial video or something like that. But anyway, so to say, wait, did I already line this up? I don't think I did. Oh, I see, I deleted my troop stage accidentally. So to say, just if you are ever wondering, right, like how come I was able to float the bed or the pond or some other item, and it was just popping, just snapping upward really, really easily. And these other items, I can't seem to get to float at all. Try nudging it only upward like a few inches, just to see that it can float. And that might be your answer, is this item is the thing that registers as being really thin. Again, like in the case of a stage panel, it doesn't look like it's very thin, but it actually is being registered that way. So you just take that into account. Some troubleshooting things, right? Because I don't want you seeing me floating like a bed and then going back and thinking that it all works like that. And then banging your head against a wall thinking that you must be goofing up, when in reality it's just that you need to just float it in smaller increments. Oh, I should probably get the dies instead of those dies we were talking about. Let me put this away. Okay, perfect though. These at least were frozen up in place. So now we have our books and we have our bar stools. There we go. And we said we were going to try russet brown, I think, and chocolate as the dye colors. So we will do that. Oh, and that kitchen little thing I was talking about is like this, right? It's like a little cutout in the wall where I have a little kind of Asian kitchen situation going on. In theory, you'd probably order your dumplings and ramen and stuff and eat here. Or have it taken over here to the main bar. Lost my train of thought there for a second. Let's see. We'll try, let's get 2 russet browns. 2 russet browns and at least 6 chocolate dyes, because I know for a fact that we want to probably try to dye the bar counters this color, but I'm not sure about the low bookshelves. So we're gonna figure that out. Can you guys still hear me okay, by the way? I'm getting on my little status check on OBS, I can see that it's stuttering again. So, just want to make sure that you guys can still hear me and everything. Man. It's quite, the weird thing is it's really choppy on my end too here. Like, I'm just trying to walk around the house in the game and it's like, oh. Yeah, right now, the game is being extremely choppy as well. Let me go quickly check something really quick on the router area. Hold on, I'll be right back. Just gonna mute myself for a second here. Hello, I'm back. Although, the heck is happening? Okay, hold on. Just gonna. I'm putting up the BRB screen, but I am actually still here. I just need to check something on my desktop. Seems like it's... Oh, okay. It seems like it's getting better. That's weird. Let's see. Freaking hump day. You know, you'd think. How is this? Is that looking a little better? On my end, it is actually getting less choppy too. Because like for a second there, I could barely move. It was like slideshow for me as well. Very weird. Happens though. Okay, here we go. Chocolate dye. Okay, does this work better? Yeah, see how it doesn't dye the same color, right? Chocolate feels like too light, I think. Oh, actually, if maybe it's the light too, but let's see what it looks better. Russet. Okay, I kind of like the darker wood there on this. It makes the books stand out more, I think. I'm gonna go with russet. Can always change it later. Come on. Yeah, russet. The darker wood look, right? Which is like, not to say that necessarily I only like the darker wood in general, but in this particular case, yeah, I think it really helps the books kind of pop up with their little bits of color. And I kind of wonder if you could like put a little plant or something here. It feels like there should be like a plant, you know? I feel like when you're in a cafe, a lot of times, putting something like a plant is quite nice. Let's see, what plants do we have? Like that feels very cafe-like, right? Little like a fig leaf kind of thing, or I guess oliphant here, but oh no, actually no, there is actually a potted fig tree, isn't there? But I quite like the look of the oliphant here. Do I have these down though already? I remember I stored some items over here. Behind. There we go. Saving the slots here. Surprise plants. So yeah, in case anyone wasn't here like in the previous stream when I did this, pro tip, if you're building and you know, for example, that you're gonna do a bunch of stuff with clutter or lights and plants and some other like things around the build, especially if you already know roughly what you kind of want to go for there, set a bunch of them aside and put them in a back corner. And then that way you kind of have the slots reserved Just like tuck them away in the back corner of somewhere and hide them. And you won't even think about it. And then you're gonna build your build as if you know, you're gonna build your build based on the slots allotted. And then at the very end, you're gonna be like, oh wow, wait, that's right. I set aside 10 to 20 item slots of extra stuff. So I actually have more room to work with. And I can now like build accordingly. Very useful. I think, you know, something like that. I don't know. I think, right? I feel like a lot of cafes end up having some kind of a plant or something. Yeah, this is still quite choppy, but maybe, honestly, it might just be the network in our area for some reason. It's just being weird today. I don't know. Everybody took Wednesday off. It's just a nice day outside, you know? Also, want to lob this out here before we get too short on time, but so I think the title updated properly of the stream, but so I'm looking at the possibility of doing some housing tours or housing showcases in upcoming in an upcoming stream or upcoming streams. So I was thinking that maybe we would do like once a month, or something, that we would once, possibly twice a month, depending on how many submissions we get, that we could just go visit some people's houses or something. And I will reiterate this both in the Discord. I'm working on getting the text and stuff for this, and I'm also going to probably have a spiel about this before some of the streams as we go showcase. But I do want to put this up front right now, that like in my community here and on this stream, we are not here to police people against using things like third party. That being said, you know, the main focus of these streams is to inspire people and to show them like what is possible and teach them how to do things within the housing in the game, right? And I personally just don't have the third-party tools, so not only will I not show it because, you know, Square Enix has asked that we don't like showcase anything, showcase how to use those tools or anything, but I also just literally don't know how it works, so I couldn't tell you how stuff using those works anyway. But I just want to put it out there that, like, you know, in my server and in our community here, I know that some people may use them, may use tools, and I just want to make it clear that, like, we are not here to police them on that, and certainly not to berate them on that. So please, you know, even if you maybe have a personal thing against that or whatever, I ask that you don't make a big deal about it. You know, if we go visit builds and stuff and there's a bit of third-party use going on, or even if there is some like pretty obvious third-party use, let's just not draw attention to it, okay? Like, I'm not gonna go deep into it. I'm not gonna break it down because, well, again, I can't. I also just don't know how I wouldn't know how to tell you how to do that because I have never tried it before in my life. So if we see that on a walkthrough or anything like that, you know, certainly don't get mad at that person or be calling them out and everything. you know, I may just not either talk about certain sections or, you know, in all honesty, I will try to always focus on stuff that I can explain, that I can teach you how to build. And I think, though, that there's a lot of reasons why people may use tools for a variety of things. Maybe, you know, there's limitations physically or something like that, and that helps them do it and not hurt themselves. Or just, you know, or it just helps them create their art. You know, this is a form of artistic expression, and that is really what we're here to honor. We are here to see people expressing art, their artistry, and so we are not here, though, to be the police about that. So I just wanted to put that out there, because I know that within like the housing community, I know some of you who are new maybe don't know this yet or haven't seen this side, but like I know that there is some debate about this out there, and sometimes there's a bit of a stigma against you know, using third party, partially because Square Enix says, hey, you know, we ask that we don't do this. So again, I'm not telling you whether you should or shouldn't. It's kind of up to each person on their own accord to decide that for themselves. But I did just want to make that clear, because I would like to visit some people's houses, and I know that occasionally we may come across some stuff that has some third party, but I'm not gonna freak out about it on stream, and I don't want anyone else to freak out about it. We're just there to kind of enjoy what the person has put together for us and enjoy the experience and the art that is on display. So sorry if that you know, don't mean to dampen the mood or anything, but I did want to just make that clear. And again, I'm gonna try to boil that down into a more succinct set of guidelines that I'll post in my Discord, as well as probably reiterate on the stream when we do the tours and stuff. But yeah, so to say, I may show some stuff on my stream that does showcase uses of that, and I just want to, yeah, you know, be transparent about that, and to say that within here, like, if you guys do happen to use it a little bit, that don't be afraid to still post your images. Of course, I can also not guarantee you that Square Enix won't come to me and say, hey, can you take down that video? Or, hey, you know, if they somehow see it on my stream, then, you know, and if they come after you, I'm not responsible for that. I will try to, I think that'll be something. I'll create a submission section in my Discord, right? And one of the things that I would, you know, say is anybody can submit stuff, right? But if you use blatant use of third party, like an entire build in the void, give a heads up about that. I probably will not go to that, because I just don't want to get anybody in trouble, you know? So I just don't think like something that's like entirely in the void is like a good idea to show on stream and have it archived, you know? But if it's like just like a cabinet pushed into the floor, like, you know, it's fine. I think it's fine for the most part, but I do want to say up front, I can't promise you that that Square Enix or something may not come and tell me differently, or message you separately or something. I don't know. So if you ask for me to do a walkthrough of your build, if you you know, any images you post and stuff like that, you kind of accept a little bit of that risk yourself, right? I think that's a reasonable thing to say, right? That like, I'm not gonna police you on it, but it's, you know, Square Enix might. But hopefully not. Honestly, I think if we just don't draw attention to it, I think we're good to go. And we can just have a lot of fun with it. And we can see everybody's art. So, thank you for understanding, everybody. And also just already preemptive future thank you for helping me to keep our community here a welcoming and open-minded space. I really just want everyone to feel comfortable and enjoy housing, and enjoy creating and exploring possibilities, and just having fun with this, and enjoying each other's arts. and creativity and the stories that we want to tell through our builds. And I don't want, you know, stuff to bog that down or anything. And so far, you guys have all been wonderful. I'll say, like this. I'm not saying any of this because it's been a problem or anything. Everybody here has been so wonderful and so welcoming, and really supportive of everything. You know, of all the members. And so, you know, I'm more saying this just because I want to just make it clear for people who maybe watch this video in the future, or you know, if new members come into the stream and I don't maybe have a chance to tell them the stance on that, you know, just kind of let people know, hey, we're not here to call people out on that or anything. So if you see someone blasting someone in the Discord or something, you can report it to me, or even just give them a little nice thing that says, hey, look, man, we're not here to police that. That's not our job. We're just here to play the game and have fun. There we go. Let's see. I feel like it needs some lights, right? I mean, it's kind of dark. Kind of wonder. Okay, what would this look like on light 0? Oh, okay, that's really dark. Well, we definitely need a lot more lights if we were to do light 0. But probably, let's see, light 1 or 2? Let's see, try to put in a little bit of lights over here. I kind of want to also, well, after we kind of get some of this stuff all in place, these sort of basics, I do feel like something that's pretty characteristic of the builds that I do is a little more complex layering of stuff, and I think so far we haven't really gotten into too much of that here. A little bit with the aquascape, maybe with the actual aquarium and the rocks and everything, but some of this other stuff is quite basic in some sense, and so I would like to show maybe a little bit more of us exploring some options about creating a little more complex layering in the way this is laid out. I'm not exactly sure what that will mean, but I think it would be a neat thing to explore. And I'm just testing kind of what it looks like to put a little light right there. Something about this doesn't feel quite right though. Is it that this is too, is this because this is really light? Something about this it's kind of losing a little bit of the vibe or something that I wanted to go for. It's not green enough maybe, or I'm not a big fan of how these woods also are kind of clashing. It's not the end of the world. I mean, this is understandable, right? It would be like built into like the foundation. This part feels a little strange. Like this doesn't have like a really nice transition here. Yeah. Oh, and I realized I kind of got into just like talking about my stance on the whole on my stance when we do the housing tours. But so question, next Monday or Wednesday, I'm thinking maybe Monday, would you guys be interested in doing a small little tour? I'm not sure if it would necessarily be the entire stream, but I'm thinking maybe Wednesday pre-prominence, because then oh, you know what, actually, yeah, we could do like Monday we walk through other people's builds, and then maybe on Wednesday right before prominence I can actually do a we can keep building but then also do a walkthrough of prominence before the actual nightclub opens later that night. What do you guys think about that? Next Monday, doing a walkthrough of some of the builds from this community. I know we already have, I've already made note of like Celeste has a build, Amphi has a build, Alora has a build, Selena has a build, she just posted that. Morgant, I mean, I know you just finished your tailor shop. And I think a lot of you also have multiple builds that are already done. And we could always even potentially go to some of those as well. I would need to figure out and make sure that I can get to everybody's data center, since I know that many of you are on Ether or possibly other places. But yeah, so, oh yeah, and actually that makes a good point. And not just me, so I think when we do one of these, I would welcome that other people, that you guys join along. We can all go to the builds together. And take a look at them in person, because of course it's always better to be in the actual physical space, right? Instead of just seeing it on the stream. It's always nice when you can also look around. So, Elemental, is that where your tailor shop is? So you're mainly on Ether. Yeah, so I think the main focus for next Monday's walkthrough would be Crystal and Ether data centers. And then we can always branch out from there. Elemental Kuchata. Okay, possibly might save if there's one on Elemental. If it's only the one, then I might save that for either a future thing. Because I think we already have quite a few just on Ether and Crystal alone, and I could see how we might already have quite a lot to talk about there. You have other builds in Ether? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. It's where the shop is. Yeah, so okay, like TLDR, tell your friends, and also like I guess prepare yourself. So we'll do next Monday. The stream will be a housing tour on both Crystal and Ether data centers. I think that we could probably do like roughly like an hour each, you know? I hope we can get to everyone. Honestly, you know, maybe we could even go over a little bit if we find ourselves just really enthralled with a lot of everybody's builds. So you have, you know, a little less than a week though to go make an alt on these other servers if you want to come join us. And since most of the builders are here, like, and from the stream, I think most of them will be probably with us, and therefore can help provide warps and stuff to properties if you can't get there. And I'm gonna, okay, so I will work to try to get up a housing list this week, roughly, of some of the builds, and kind of just like at least roughly outline where they're going to be and which ones we're going to take a look at. That way, you can choose where to start your character if you need to. Like, for example, if they all happen to be in lavender beds or something, then you know to start your character in Gridania. Although hopefully we can, again, assist with some warps and or flying people around to stuff. In case anyone is wondering, by the way, yeah, so I mainly play here on Crystal Data Center. I'm on Mateus. So Crystal Mateus. So if you do want to come hang out, you know, I encourage you to get an alt on Crystal Mateus. Or just Crystal in general, if you'd like. And then, yeah, you could come hang out at my nightclub that my nightclub isn't open this week, but it'll be open next week. Next Wednesday. And also the whole FC here, I mentioned I want to open it up. It's been closed because I've been kind of working on stuff and trying to figure out how I want to present it, and I didn't want to show it until it was done. But I want to open it up, and I want it to become like a spot where we come to hang out. I want to host like a bunch of smaller events too, like community-based events, or you know, community and our friends. So like host like a bard concerts. We already did one that was a great success last week, and I will look forward to doing something like that again. Maybe hosting some other kinds of little events here and there, or even just like little hangouts. Like the dream for me would be I build kind of like our hangout hub in the game for everybody who you're meeting through this community, and it could be like one of your go-to spots to kind of hang out. And especially like on the stream or something, I think right now the internal area of my FC house is that bar that we kind of glanced at earlier in the stream. But I'm probably gonna actually pretty quickly redo that once we finish this cafe thing we're working on. I want to make it much more of like a communal hangout spot with a bunch of different areas to hang out in. And then we could throw, you know, like holiday parties in for everybody from the stream or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. To have a central hub that, you know, we could always all come hang out at. Hopefully that idea excites you guys, and you guys would be down for joining in on something like that. Let's see, how do I want to do more lighting? Actually, is there anything we can do interesting with the door here? It was a little plain. How many slots do we have? We still have... Okay. $36 slots left. Actually, that's quite a bit, considering that most of this is already in place. I do wonder about having like bringing in the Asian element. To have it help match with the rest of the FC. So I've done this before a number of times where I have this sort of double door, and because there's like an NPC near the door, it will always be propped open. So This is one option. And potentially, it could be kind of cool to frame the whole room like this, in a way. The only thing is, I feel like the screens here don't really vibe with the rest of the look of stuff. Okay, but let's just test. What would happen if... This could mean we pull some of these things a little bit closer inward, right? I know we have them kind of squished up against the wall right now. But just exploring the possibility of, like, what if we had some false walls? Because I also feel like immediately just having false walls, you know, something that's not... Something that breaks up the shape of the room that everybody's always familiar with, right? Whether it's a false wall, false floor, false ceiling, something that breaks up a shape that everybody already knows comes standard with the house, I think adds a lot to people feeling like they're kind of in a custom space that feels interesting and unique and different. By the way, thank you very much, Morgant, for the follow. I just realized I didn't mention that earlier, but thank you. Let's see. Putting it like this is interesting. Okay, covering up the pillar, right? And then it also puts a little piece of the pole right there that helps make these feel a little like they're attached to something or they're coming out of something and not just in the middle of the shade. Just making sure, can you guys still hear me? I haven't heard anybody say anything for a little while, and I just want to make sure that it's not because you can't hear me. Totally understand that if you guys are just in the zone building and stuff. Ooh, yeah, see, so like this kind of feel, it's pretty interesting, right? I feel like that feels more interesting in a way than what we had before. And also helps bring in the Asian element. We could also go with the darker, the paper partitions, right? The same thing, but take the paper partition look. I do really like the look of sort of lighter wood. Like, I think this is a very common thing in like a more modern looking thing, is you have the lighter wood with the steel and then the greenery and the concrete. I think those kind of, all of those tie together to make for that very modern, maybe like Japandi, some people would call it. It's very apple-y in a way, some sense, industrial. That's why I'm kind of curious to play with using that lighter wood, which might build out to some of the other areas as well. Wonder what we could do to layer this. I don't know about the screens here. Curious. And okay, good. Glad you guys can still hear me. Let's see if we could, let's look at the other partitions and see what perhaps we could layer with it. So something actually I did in the main room here. Oh my gosh, why won't it let me click? There we go. Use the wall or partitions as a walling. Then you can maybe have one of it. Walnut wall interior. Ah, true. Yeah, the walnut wall interior has that same kind of lighter wood texture, right? Do you know if the wood texture of the walnut is, or the the color tone of the walnut interior wall is pretty much the same as the Oriental partitions, Morgant. And here, this is something. So a look that I did in this main area was this wall, which is, I think, maybe deceptively simplistic looking. But what this is the slanted. I think actually, it's slanted walls, slanted partitions, but flipped backwards, which gives you this really nice, like the little wood trims here, and this bit of a, bit of texture to the surface, as opposed to, I think, some of the like the white partition or the stage panel. It doesn't quite have a texture, and I know that a lot of like Asian, almost like rice paper kind of feeling, right, has a lot of that texture going on, at least in a very subtle way. So there's a bit of a texture thing going on here, and then these are cabinets that are pushed just in front of this to give it this trim, this Asian trim, or the wood, this wood paneling in front here. And just to show you, I guess this is kind of already cutting into the walkthrough of this in the future, but right, it's like this, right? See, it's the back of this, but by hiding a lot of it in here, you kind of get, you see how it's hidden, how most of that's hidden, and then it's layered yet again with the Hingen partition. So the base is the Hingen partition, then you have the Glade wardrobe there, and then you have the slanted wall there. And when it all comes together, it kind of comes out with this like just single unified Asian wall. They're just also a bit slot hungry, unfortunately. But I think that because we do actually have quite a few slots inside the bar, I kind of wonder if it could be worth exploring bringing, that kind of same layering in there to make it feel contiguous. But that is what I mean by when I say like a bit more complex layering in all of this. Something like a simple wall, right? But it's comprised of like 4 or 5 items. But that custom look, it adds a lot. So, not the same exact color, but it's another light wood tone that I think compare well with the Oriental beige wood. True, yeah. I'll have to go get, maybe I'll go get some walnut wallpaper then, and we could play with that the next time we keep going here. Let's see, how many more Oriental partitions do I have? I have one more, and then we have the preview. Just kind of thinking through here how many slots this takes to get this thing wrapping all the way around the building, right? Here we go. There's also the matter of needing to potentially hold these open somehow, just so we don't have that sliding door sound all the time. Okay, here we go. We take this off-grid snap and just nudge this right there. Now, this isn't texture glitching or overlapping in a weird way. It does feel a little strange that it interacts with the ceiling here in kind of like a not so aesthetically nice way. Let's tilt camera 100 and get a better view of that. Okay. So here's also another thing of bringing the lighting way down sometimes helps. In this case, actually, that kind of, well, it might work. Kind of depends. So something that's kind of interesting is that sometimes discrepancies in color or texture and stuff can largely be bypassed if you drop the lighting to 0 and use artificial lighting and just like very specific pinpoints of artificial lighting that cast certain light in certain areas and draw attention to those instead of like areas there's a little bit of a mismatch. So like in this case, one option could be that like, okay, yeah, this clashes a bit with like some of the roof and stuff. But if we drop the light kind of low and make sure that we have focal elements, like for example this, you know, hopefully people's eyes are just kind of drawn down here, right? They keeps their eyes low and they never really scroll upward, right? In a perfect world, we'd have enough slots where we always have a nice, completely enclosed area, but that's not always feasible. So in something like this, I think we'll probably end up having to work with an open roof. Arguably, we could bring back the ponds and create, you know, a much lower ceiling just across the board. And I think it would only take like maybe six different ponds or something, because the ponds are gigantic. Yeah, let's see. What layers with this? Let's just try some stuff. I'm gonna turn the lights back up a little bit so we can see better. If we do marble, log, this is gonna be off, but sometimes, you know, sometimes you're just gonna try stuff. Because you just never know, right? Maybe it'll actually end up being a happy little accident and you'll be like, oh wow, that actually works really well together. I don't think that will be the case with here, but you never know, right? So like, if there was like that, you know? No, it's kind of, I mean, it's very much a log cabin look though. That's not very Asian in the fact that there's all the logs. White screen flipped backwards has a very nice wood texture. For anybody who's never really given that a look, I mean, the back of the white screen is this. And yo, Bob Ross emoji. Wait, is that a standard emoji to come something? Where'd you get that, Amphi? Where has this been all my life? But yeah, so a lot of people use this partition, the white screen, and they use just the back of it because it has this really nice wood texture that does repeat a little bit, but it's a very nice texture and it's gigantic. And they either use the full-on back or they even use the edge there, this little side portion, to create just like a little corner piece or a little bit of a, you know, just a single stripe of wood. Unfortunately, you can't dye the wood, so the wood would be permanently stuck as this dark thing. It's also gigantic though, so it's kind of hard to get it really close to the wall. Man, this is so choppy. It's very hard to move right now. I apologize. Yeah, full disclosure, yeah. Part of why I'm going kind of slow is, one, I'm thinking through this, but also the other thing is I cannot move. Like, I barely am able to move around. So forgive me for being a bit slow in putting some of these things up. Okay. Let's see. Using storage placement, we can kind of figure out if this is feasible or not. What if you put vertical partitions behind the horizontal partitions with windows behind for slide rays? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea. I wasn't thinking it would be like an outdoor space because I guess initially I had thought it would be sort of more of like a, you know, enclosed private bar almost feeling kind of thing. But actually, I mean, yeah, because we've added like such a big amount of verdant partition, and with the natural wood and stuff, I mean, yeah, that it could actually be an interesting thing to play with. Morgant's saying, you know, take a verdant partition, potentially drop it behind here to and just kind of have it interacting with the wood, and then have windows behind this, and the windows will cast light rays, which will, you won't even necessarily be able to see the windows, but you could see the light shining through, which implies that perhaps it goes to the outside. So let's try that. Let's try just putting... Because yeah, I mean, I do really like the look of greenery with the natural light wood. It's a very nice look. Oh God. Okay, you would want to push it a little farther into the wall, but that's kind of like, I think, the idea where you'd have this, and then you kind of figure out like, okay, maybe like this is in theory the window where the light rays would want to pop through. Oh yeah, it's standard. We have a standard Bob Ross emoji? Oh my gosh. All right, well, so when I do some, we're just gonna use some titanium white here. Just make a happy little tree. I expect the chat to be flooded with these come standard Bob Ross emojis. Man, that guy's got a cool voice. So calm. What a guy. Shout out to Bob Ross, everybody. We talked about him on a much earlier stream too. I forget which one that was. That should be in the show notes. I think it will be in the show notes whenever I get around. I'm able to do that. It's but yeah. What a guy. What a guy. I think it actually, no, yeah. I'm pretty sure if you look back, I think it's stream number 4. Is one where the stream kept dropping or something, and I even put it in the title. I updated the title to say Bob Ross ? Because I mean, Bob Ross. So what time is it? In Arizona time. Oh, it's the nighttime, so we will not see light rays. I was gonna say we could put a window on the wall to kind of see what that's like. But we do not have daylight right now, so yeah. Yeah, so interesting. Okay. What shall we do here? Do we want this? Do we want paper partitions? Everything else in the whole build right now is dark, which makes me think that to keep it more unified, we want to keep it dark. Although Ampy did make a good point of like, binding yourself to a super specific theme is kind of limiting. But that being said, I'm not sure how I feel. I feel like it definitely needs some kind of layering. Let's see, I'm gonna experiment with some more layering. I'm gonna go a little overtime here because I just kind of want to experiment a bit more with this. Partition. So, I'll put stuff up. Like, what if we floated this up? So I'm not a big fan of the little greenery ornamentation up at the top of these partitions, but, you know, if you float them way up. Let's use the side to kind of see what this looks like. Okay, so this would be... Oh, actually, yeah, I just realized with the bar counters, we actually can even push this higher. So it could actually be... Where is it? Like that high almost. Which would eliminate the little bar at the top. So that's like an option, right? Is using something like this, right? Where we use this to cover up a lot of the sidewall to eliminate this kind of clash of the different woods. And we could potentially take this and, as Morgant was saying, get a blank version and use the walnut wallpaper, which could help blend it more with the oriental here. So that could be something. Yeah, I think I'll pick up a walnut wallpaper and then a blank partition. Actually, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just go get it right now. Who cares? Why not? I'm pretty sure a walnut wallpaper is very cheap. Should be. I could be wrong. And Rem says, you can download Anamnesis, the pose tool. You can control and change the weather for yourself in the game. Use it to take screenshots. Can't control exactly how to weather. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I see that. I see how that would be very useful, especially if you want to take screenshots of your builds and you don't want to wait until it's light out, or like there's like sometimes a very particular time where it optimally looks. I understand. A question for you though: is Anamnesis possible to put on a Mac? I'll expose myself here, right? In case anybody is unaware or hadn't glanced down into my panels below, I am gaming on a Mac, and by that I mean my whole setup is a Mac. And a lot of the tools and a lot of the other things that you can do, like even G-Shade and stuff, I cannot get on my setup. What was I doing? Walnut wallpaper? Is that what it's called? It's probably called walnut wallpaper, right? Hey, Peach Lemonade 14. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Is it not called? Okay, I'll just try walnut. And we'll go from there. How are you doing, Peach Lemonade 14? Oh, walnut interior. Oh my god, yeah, that's what it's called. Walnut interior wall. That's right. Oof, that is a bit. That's pricier than I thought it'd be. But you know what? It's fine. Whatever. For the sake of speed, I think I can make that back. I'm watching you, Peach. You can't escape me. But you can lurk if you like. But oh, okay. So this is Peach. I think we kind of virtually have crossed paths in the mostly housing Discord, right? Let's see. Do I need anything else? No, I don't. I think I can just. I wonder, do I want this on which kind of blank partition? I guess I should try the other blank partitions to see which one could potentially work. So we had the Riviera, the Glade. I did use the Glade quite heavily in some other areas. So, right, if this was here, and it was about like that. Okay, so you have the walnut. Ooh, actually, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Wait, let's look a little closer. I like this, how the Glade partition, when it sits right on top of the bar counter, how it has that, just the bar here, the base of it, is a different texture, like of this darker wood. That actually looks quite nice with the lighting. It kind of feels like it would be a backsplash, right, at a cafe wall, and then it'd be like, maybe like we'd put a Guild Ulysses on there. As if they're like little posters or flyers or something. And then up top would be the walnut wallpaper, which would match with the Oriental partition. But I like that, like in the little cutout here, that maybe we could have, you know, this thing poking through. And it would be probably like that, and we'd pull all the bar counters forward. That's an interesting. Okay, I didn't expect that to work like that, but that actually is kind of cool. Right, and then the walnut wallpaper would extend all the way up to the top here. That makes me also think perhaps the same thing would be true of, I think Oasis is not the right vibe. But the Hingen ones, very possibly. There we go. Hingen. Why am I not able to get this? There we go. There, I can sit behind. Same kind of thing. I think that the Hingen, these ones, they feel a little bit. They don't feel so much like a backsplash, right? Like that Glade one felt like a really nice. Like slotting right in here, it felt like a very nice backsplash to the bar. I think that the red kind of makes a nice framing up top. So like this is another potential look we could do, right? Is have this look of this trim. I use this as a sort of overhang trim in the backstage or the backyard stage. And so that could be kind of cool to bring the same trim into this build, right? And this would go all the way around maybe. And that'd be kind of neat to have that mirror the backyard stage. So that's like another possibility. And yes, yeah, indeed, Peach. Well, hey, I was glad you could join us. And I'm looking forward to talking to all you guys now too, a lot more. I've been rather quiet in the housing community, but I've done a lot of housing. But I felt a little nervous about like speaking up and like reaching out. And I kind of felt like I wanted to be a little, figure out a little bit more of how stuff worked and figure out what I wanted to say and all of that. But I realized that's like a silly thing. I think like everybody's going through the same thing, right? We're all just people. We're all just artists. So we shouldn't, like, nobody's really on a pedestal per se, or shouldn't be necessarily. I mean, even, it's easy to sometimes build that up in your mind, but. And But yeah, I think it's good that we all help each other realize that we're all banging our heads together on this, and everybody is agonizing over getting their thing to float properly and everything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is another option, is having something like up top, the trim up top, and we have this the view of the concrete still poking through. Amphi. Yes. Hosting prominence. So I kind of want to post or talk about prominence closer to when I'm actually going to open prominence again, which will be actually a week from today. So hey, if anybody on this stream is interested in coming out to the nightclub that I built, then mark your calendars for next Wednesday, a week from today, and that will be at, is it 8 to 10 p.m. PST or 11 to 1 a.m. EST, 2 hours. I'll be opening up my nightclub that I built and playing a DJ set there. So if you like electronic music and you'd also just like to see what, toot my own horn here, but like a kind of interesting and a new take on a nightclub design, I encourage you to come check it out. Even if you don't normally go out to nightclubs, or even if you don't, you typically see yourself as more of like, I just house or something. I think, I encourage everyone to come out. I think it's a really cool experience to be in a place together with other people and listening to music. You don't have to be crazy and necessarily like jumping on the tables and stuff, but would love to have you come just check it out. And hopefully you like the music too. And this is the server. So this will be on the server that I am on, which is Crystal Mateus, and it's going to be in Lavender Beds. So if you don't have a character on Crystal, just make one on Mateus and put it in Gridania. Have it start in Gridania, and then you can run there. And also, I mean, I can honestly, anyone here who I'm telling this to right now, you guys can always make your characters, message me in game, tell me, hey, I'm from the stream and stuff, and I'll happily add you, and then you can just warp over there too, if you need a warp or something. And yeah, Amphi can attest to this, that, they don't often go out to clubs and stuff, but I think you enjoyed yourself quite a bit at the opening night. Also, while I haven't posted officially to the housing discords yet, if you don't mind spoiling yourself, like if you want to see it in person for the first time and have the full impact like live as you walk in, then don't look at what I'm about to tell you, and you can just come in person next Wednesday. But if you would like to see what it looks like ahead of time and have a little peek before I even post about it, some people have posted some screenshots from the opening night in my Discord, in the Nightlife screenshots section. So if you're curious at all to have a quick look at kind of what it looks like, it's in there. And I might add, for anyone who's curious and also potentially watches this in the future, everything was built with just the in-game stuff. Like, there's no... well, okay, sorry. There's a few little Mog Station items, but what I mean is there's no third-party used or anything, so everything that you see there is possible within just the base game. So... just to give you a little bit of a fun thing to aim for potentially if you're interested in building nightclubs or venue spaces at all. I would say I've spent a lot more time building Ichi nightclub, which is the first nightclub that I built, and then also this now. So like building specifically bars or like especially nightclub spaces. So my builds for those are much more sophisticated and like have a lot more, I think, going on when it comes to like specifically like a bar design or a nightclub design. So but I want to branch out of that, you know, and also want to learn how to build other kinds of spaces. But so to say, if you look at prominence, that's what not 6 works. That's what 6 months of housing gets you. I worked on that thing for 6 months in secret, of just like trying all these different ideas and stuff. And what was I going to do here? I think we were going to try. Let's see. Do we want? Man, there's a part of me that kind of likes that dark wood here, and then also having the Hingen wood up above. I wonder if that layering could be really cool. And then like the main selling point of this build would end up being kind of this is custom wall all around here. Okay, let's just think how many slots this would take. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Tiara Moore. I'm very much looking forward to playing more music for you guys next week. And and a ton of patience, Ampy, indeed. Lots of very precise nudging stuff around. Okay, so how many partitions am I using? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 Oriental. So that let's just okay, so but then one of them is already on this side. So that's actually, is that only 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. If I was to layer a second one, 8, 12 on both sides, so 24. If I was to do that thing I was talking about, where I use both blades for the slot right here and then Hingen for here, I think that would be the 24 slots, and I had what, 36 left? That might be pushing it. Oh, heh. Noise. Slot count. I'm just trying to think through in my brain, like, what are all the different ways that we could do this? And if there's some area that would be better, like a different idea that would better bring this place to life. Because another option would be to keep the walls and the sides much more simplistic, and really focus much more on the clutter, or possibly even like framing out the fish tank a bit more to really make all of the focus pretty much on the bar area here. We do still want to put probably some bottles or something here, a menu. Yeah, I think maybe that's something that we will start with next time on this stream, would be to... Oh wait, no, next time we'll do the walkthrough, actually. So yeah, next stream will be next Monday, for housing at least, and it will be the walkthrough housing tour. Again, if you aren't already, I encourage you to come pop in and join my Discord. The link is down below. As that, as well as maybe Twitter, is where I'm going to post more information about what we're going to do with the housing walkthrough. And tell your friends to come join. If they don't have characters and stuff, they can watch the stream. If you have a character on, we're going to look at Ether and Crystal data centers. This is for housing stuff. And so next week is going to be quite action-packed. We'll have housing walkthroughs Monday, of your guys' builds, everyone else's builds. And then I think Wednesday, I will do a bit of housing walkthrough of my builds, which is to say we'll take a look at the main room of this FC that you kind of could see a little bit earlier in the stream. And then I'll also take a look at Prominence. I'm not sure if I will do like a full, like talk about everything in Prominence. I feel like that almost could take a dedicated thing where I just have like we're just gonna like walk through and talk about a bunch of stuff. We'll see how far we get. But I wouldn't mind taking a quick look at that. Unless people like really don't want to be spoiled, you know. I'm torn, you know? I'm torn because I think I took a lot of care when I built Prominence that when you walk in, when you enter the building, there's sort of like a walkway build-up to turning like a specific corner, and you kind of get this big reveal of the look of it. And I know that's kind of really cool to experience in person for the first time. But I also understand that a lot of people are very eager for me to talk about this and show it on stream. So maybe I can see how I'm feeling next week, you know, for Wednesday. But certainly next week we'll have a lot of exciting, walkthroughs of everybody's stuff. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then Wednesday will be potentially walkthrough of some of my builds on the housing stream. And then later that same night, Wednesday, March 30th, will be the second opening of Prominence as a nightclub. And I will be DJing there. So tell your friends and get excited for that, because I'd love to see a lot of you out there. It's my baby. It really is like a dream to be able to build a venue and then be able to perform in that venue. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream though for now, and get some food, and then also get to work on some of the changes and updates in the Discord that I've been talking about on the stream. Get that channel where we can submit the housing walkthroughs, and get some photos and stuff posted and things. There's just a lot of pieces moving. But thank you all for everybody who came out today. Thank you for bearing with me as we had a bit of weird internet disk space things happen earlier in the stream, but we made it through. And yeah, thank you so much for coming out to the stream today, everybody. I really appreciate all your guys' support and your feedback. And so I hope you had a good time. I hope those of you who were building along with me on the stream, I hope the building went well. And yeah, I won't be streaming again until next Monday, but we can definitely talk on Discord. And we're definitely gonna be planning an exciting week for next week. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week if I don't see you until next time. But for now, I'll say goodbye and good night. Trying to angle my camera here, but there we go. Oh, and my character looked at the fish tank. Okay, well, I'm looking to the side, but I assure you, I'm looking at you guys and cheering you on. Yeah, all right. Thanks so much, everybody. Good night, take care. I'll post the VOD of this shortly. So if you want to rewatch it, or if you want to tell your friends, you can show them. Thank you, and good night, everyone. Take care.